This video is a full itinerary breakdown of a 3 to 4 week train adventure across Japan. We'll walk through each destination, share impressions, and highlight some of our favorite off-the-beaten-path experiences along with a rough budget and tips along the way. If you're curious about places we've mentioned, I have made separate, more detailed videos for many of them, so please just check the playlist, and if you like, subscribe. And of course, send me a comment or an email if you have any questions. I want you to know that all the content on the channel, the video, editings, and scripts are created entirely by me or my travel companions. I don't use AI for voiceovers, and all audio comes directly from YouTube Studio. On rare occasions, I'll use a stock image or video for a title screen. I don't make any money from this channel. It's just my way of sharing what I love. So please keep supporting creators who do the work themselves. I'm currently on the path to more full-time travel and hope to see the world and share my journeys as I go. I've always been a content creator in one way or another. My name is Zoe. I'm a full-time teacher currently living in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. For now, though, here's a cross-country train journey through Japan covering cities, coastlines, forests, and mountains.
You want to know Japanese? You can say "Ganbatte." That means like do your best.
Ganbatte?
Yeah.
Oh, like that's like cheering them on? Like, good job, ganbatte.
Yeah.
Alright, ganbatte, Nate.
Yes.
Look at where you are. It's amazing. We feel like,
I know, seriously, it's quite the end.
look at this. But look how high we are. Stick around to the end or shoot me a message if you're interested in budget. 3 weeks per person did total about 5,000 Canadian dollars. And I'll talk a little bit about this at the end, including the passes, which if you do your own Google search, you'll see they've increased in prices. It was worth it. So the first spot on our itinerary was from the Narita airport. We took a Shinkansen from Tokyo to Nagano, followed by a short local bus into the Yamanouchi region. Yamanouchi is nestled in the Japanese Alps, and it's a very tranquil town. We just got dropped off in the bus, and we kind of feel like we're in the middle of nowhere, because we are. But we are about an hour from Nagano, and we're heading to a little onsen area. Very quiet, known for its traditional ryokans, steaming onsens, mountains, and of course there's a lot to Yamanouchi, more than the famous monkeys, which we did visit. Local table tennis, community centers, lots of charming back streets. It was just a real sense of slow rural life. We loved it. It's our kind of place, and probably don't want to spend more than a couple of days unless you just want to stop and relax. We're walking in this most gorgeous, interesting town. But yes, its biggest draw was the Jigogondandi Mountain Park. Well, I'm at Snow Monkey Park. The official name actually is called, if I could say it correctly, Jigokudani. And
they're tracking everything. Like, look at this tracking system. Oh. But when they come in, when they come out.
So it's like a forecast.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess there's probably lots of signs.
What's the yellow?
Yellow means late. Means they're late.
Oh.
Coming down.
Okay. There aren't any monkeys here yet, so we're gonna wait a bit. We're so excited! They came! They bathe in the natural hot springs. It's a behavior seen nowhere else in the world. It's rare opportunity to observe wild monkeys in this habitat. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely worth it, and not really crowded, even in a tourist season. There are many places to stay we found in in this area. You just have to do a little bit of search. Again, send me a message if you're interested in our place. It was cheap, and they did allow modifications for vegetarian and vegan options.
You want one of these at home.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Next on our itinerary was Tsuchiyu Onsen, a historic hot spring town tucked in the mountains of Fukushima Prefecture. We traveled once again on the Shinkansen train from Yamanouchi to Tokyo, and then a 2-hour train ride from Fukushima Prefecture. From the main train station, we found a small bus that took us up and way up in the mountains, about an hour ride, where we arrived at Tsuchiyu Onsen and stayed for 3 nights. We stayed at a hostel called Aomori, quite reasonable, and they have many types of accommodation. The town is small. It's an amazing small town vibe, rich in traditions. There are steaming bathhouses on every corner and inns which have apparently hosted travelers for centuries. They even have public footbaths found randomly at street corners. It's also a bare area because we're way up in the mountains, so signs of caution everywhere. Tsuchiyu is also working towards being a zero-waste, eco-conscious onsen town. So it has a lot of geothermal projects which you can look up, and has a sustainable tourism initiative. It's a perfect example of how Japan blends old and new in quiet, beautiful ways.
Had such an amazing time at Aomori, and I think the thing I loved so much about it was that the whole hostel is featured around the UN Sustainable Development Goals and reminding you of which goal is being addressed there, and it just...
From Fukushima, we traveled north to Aomori City, capital of Aomori Prefecture, located on the northern tip of Honshu Island, the main island in Japan. The real reason we ended up here, though, was the famous resort Shirakami train, which is coming up. This area, though, it's truly rich in natural beauty and tradition, and unlike the fast-paced urban centers that we often associate with Japan, Aomori offers a quieter, more grounded experience with mountains and forests and lakes that shape everyday life. Nearby natural wonders include the Shirakami Sanchi we did not visit but would like to one day, which is a vast primeval beech forest and UNESCO World Heritage Site, basically an ancient forest site, and ideal for hiking. So we're exploring Aomori, Japan, and what's really interesting is these walking streets they have are covered as far as you can see on both ways. I think possibly it's because of the snow. I have heard that this city gets maybe the most snow in the world. From Aomori City, we took the resort Shirakami, which is really why we ended up there in the first place. This is a scenic train running along the Sea of Japan toward Akita, and I do suggest you look this one up. It's incredible. I had read about it, and I knew about the Gono line, and this one runs along the Sea of Japan through some of the most scenic landscapes in northern Honshu. We weren't disappointed. The train itself is stunning. It has large panoramic windows, wooden interiors, live performances on board. The ride felt more like a slow-moving tour through coastal cliffs, fishing villages, stretches of the Shirakami Sanchi heritage forests. And at one point, the train actually stopped for a quick break at a place called Senjojiki, where we could get out and walk along the rocky coast. It was just one of those moments that sticks with you and will stick with me for a long time. The train let us off in Akita City where we rested, walked around a little, and had some lunch, but we did not stay. We were on our way to Sendai. But just for some fun facts, Akita is known for Senshu Park. It's the site of Kuboto Castle ruins, many shrines, many other ruins, many quiet neighborhoods. The region is also known for the Akita dog. I'm sure you've heard of this. It's a truly proud symbol of local heritage. Thank God. That was almost an emergency. I had to really go. I found this Family Mart. So there's another thing. Family Marts have public washrooms. And we thank Family Marts for that. I think 7-Elevens do as well. Anyways, I'm feeling better now. And now I'm on my own and I have to find my way back to this place where we're figuring out where we're gonna eat because the last place was closed. We only spent a single day and night in Sendai, arriving from Akita after a very long ride. So we are now off to Sendai. But it was clear that one day is not enough in Sendai. It's the largest city in the Tohoku region and has a very vibrant modern feel while being deeply connected to historical roots. Oh, a capsule toy shop. An entire store dedicated to capsule toy, which we were looking for something fun to bring home. All right, it's late at night and we had a massive day of traveling across from Aomori and then Akita and now Sendai. I feel like we just had a week and a day. My traveling companions are out and I've just had it. I couldn't do it anymore. So I ended up going to Lawson's and I just decided I just didn't want to be looking for somewhere to eat. So here's what I'm having that I bought. So it's some udon noodles with tired, with rice. And these are some sort of crispy things. So we'll see how it goes. And there was some sauce in there too. And then this is tell you what this is, a seaweed salad here. And it has some stuff in it. So it's kind of gooey. I don't know, would you eat it? I love this kind of stuff. So yes, I eat it, but I'm wondering if you would eat it. Now, if I could tell you all the ingredients, I would, but I don't have my glasses and this is way too hard to read and I would have to translate. Anyway, I'm glad to be able to share this adventure. We barely scratched the surface, just enough time to explore the bustling streets around Sendai Station, but we did manage to go for a long run and explore some of the close-by neighborhoods. We did want to see why it's known as the City of Trees, and it is filled with a lot of leafy boulevards and tons of parks, like most places we travel in Japan. The atmosphere was relaxed, it was lively, and we kept wishing we had planned for at least one more day, which is something I changed with this itinerary to explore places like the Zuhoden, which is the mausoleum of samurai, or to take a side trip to Matsushubi Bay to see famous pine-covered islands. It's definitely on our list to return, and next time we probably would like to spend at least a week here. Okay, we are leaving Jal City Hotel. It's our second Jal City that we stayed in, and we didn't love the first one, but this was all right. This wasn't too bad. It wasn't. I think this is just a standard room. It had three kind of single-ish beds. From Sendai, we continued on to Shizuoka City, located between Mount Fuji and the Pacific coastline, and absolutely loved it. Shizuoka is often passed over, but it's actually one of the best places to view Mount Fuji, especially if you go onto trails like the Nihon-dera or the Sada Pass. Shizuoka is also famous for green tea, tons of plantations and nearby hills, has culinary scene that's very diverse, fresh seafood, tons of street food, izakayas. It's also the historical home of the Tokugawa Ieyasu with remnants of the Sunpu Castle, offering insights into the Edo period. This was actually one of our motivations for coming here, but there was so much more.
So like the Shogun story, the book and the show was about Ieyasu Tokugawa, who is sort of like the founding father of modern Japan, basically, of Edo, and which is now Tokyo. And so this was his, apparently this is the town Shizuoka that he grew up in, and then eventually he retired to when he passed on the Shogun title to his son, and he retired to this, had this castle for that reason, I think. The castle is gone. It burned down like 25 years later after he had already died, I think. But the remains were here, and then they rebuilt part of it, but not. There used to be a real tall tower, apparently. So that's sort of what we're going to check out, is what's left of here. Now it's a city park, but there's moats to show the map.
Oh yeah.
There's existing moat. There used to be 3 rings of moats.
Japan in August can be hit and miss regarding the weather. We've nearly missed a typhoon since we've been here, but this heat in where we are right now in Shizuoka and Tokyo region is quite hot. It's reading about 36, 37 today, mid-August, and it's very, very humid. So it's just like everything is slower, and you're just kind of going in and out of air conditioning, drinking lots, sweating lots. So just when you have the schedules we have with school, and depending on your holidays, sometimes you don't have a choice. If you can maybe skip August to come here, it might be worth it for your own health and well-being. That way is Fuji. It's a cloudy day and we can't see it, but we climbed this mountain in order to maybe possibly see it, but there's no way we're going to see it.
Even though we stayed here for only one night, the city's energy and natural surroundings made a strong impression. I do wish we stayed longer. Our next stop is Itoshima, which is a coastal gem in the Fukuoka prefecture on the island of Kyushu, which is the only time we left the island of Honshu in Japan. We are in southern Japan and at Itoshima area, and absolutely loving it. I think originally we wanted to perhaps fly to another island, or even get further south, but man, this is absolutely gorgeous. It was easy to get to, amazing hiking trails, which I'm going to share hard. Just incredible beaches with turquoise water, surfing, windsurfing. Once again, we took a bus from the Fukuoka train station to this small seaside town, and it felt like this chill Japanese style surf town. It has seaside charm, creative spirit, beaches, turquoise water, beautiful seaside restaurants. Absolutely an incredible 1 hour ride into this beautiful, beautiful beach town. I would highly recommend it. Look it's worth it. I'm gonna go for a swim, cool off. Yeah, just having one of the coolest bike rides of my life on the southern island of Itoshima, and we're heading towards a beach called Palm Beach. I'm gonna about to check that out, but like this view, honest to goodness, I made a more detailed video of this area, including information on our accommodation, which came with hybrid electric bikes. The cost was a little more here per night, over $100 each per person, but it was a full house with bikes and absolutely worth it. Glad we did it.
Yeah, 200 meters.
Itoshima.
Yeah, we might as well go there.
All right. And especially because we're all really hot.
The area is also home to forest trails believed to have been inspired by Studio Ghibli My Neighbor Totoro, and we just had to visit this spot.
The peninsula, absolutely amazing sea views, tons of hiking trails, which we've tried, and we just actually had a delicious meal along this peninsula, so absolutely worth the trek. This particular area is called the Quasi National Park, and we are at the Keia Beach, which is the Totoro Forest, which is it's called. So it definitely reminds me of sort of a fairy tale forest if you look inside here.
Okay, our next stop is Onomichi, and this was a spontaneous decision on our way back to Tokyo. It's a hillside port in Hiroshima Prefecture, and we are so glad that we did this, because it actually ended up being one of our favorite places, maybe our favorite place along the entire itinerary. The town has a cinematic feel, lots of temple trails. You could spend all day just weaving and winding along the hillside trails, the alleys, and it had a bit of a retro atmosphere, and I believe was inspired many Japanese films and anime.
So we're in Onomichi, and we're just exploring the area. We're about to climb up the there's a little mountain you climb up to see. There's so many temples here, so we're going to climb up to the top temple. There's also a ropeway, which is behind me. It's actually like a funicular, or a, what do they call it, a cable car of some sort.
It's also the starting point for the Shimanami Kaido, a 70-kilometer cycling route connecting 6 islands across the Seto Inland Sea via a series of bridges. We biked the full length with e-bikes, a great choice in the summer, and we saw fishing villages, tons of citrus groves, lots and lots of beautiful, dramatic coastal scenery. It was an experience I will never forget, and I feel so grateful. It was absolutely affordable, about $180 per night for a full apartment that could easily be shared, as it had a couple of rooms, and it was a very authentic experience, which I share in a more detailed video if you choose to watch.
A lot. Okay. We are staying at a very unique place, way up on this hill. And I just thought before we kind of moved in, I'm gonna give a little video. It's definitely unique and traditional and old and hot. But here's the front door. There's the kind of the view. There's a school right there.
Our next stop was Nara, Japan's first permanent capital, and it's best known for Nara Park, where over 1,000 sacred deer roam freely.
You've probably heard of Nara, because Nara is sort of famous for having deer walking around. They really treasure deer here. So here's where we are, and we're gonna go explore. We love animals, like anything that where we can see animals, we go find them. Fun fact is that it also used to be apparently the capital of Japan. There is a legend that is one of the reasons why they consider deer very sacred here, and they take care of the deer here. It's I did look it up quite thoroughly, just looking at animal cruelty sites. I was looking at, is it okay to feed them? I was trying to find everything I could. But ultimately, they really respect the deer here, and deer just roam around the way you would find in other places, like, for example, where we live, and you would feed squirrels. And...
Come here, back stretch.
Oh, hello, sweet little thing. What are you doing?
We wrapped up our trip in Tokyo, a city of endless contrast. We stayed here for 3 days, and of course we would have liked to stay longer. That's for another adventure. We stayed in a few different wards or cities, as they call it, to get a better sense of the city's or each ward's personality. We started in Sumida City. This is home to the towering Tokyo Skytree, one of the tallest structures in the world. This area does blend a lot of modern architecture with traditional crafts, and there are still tons of old knife makers, washi paper shops tucked into side streets, and lots of parks and neighborhoods to explore. You also get a very beautiful riverside path in this neighborhood for walking, cycling. We took the opportunity to use for a sunrise run. Hot, but well worth it. Overall, on our list, we gave it about a 7 out of 10 for places or areas to stay in Tokyo. Send me a message, ask me why. We loved it, but we found a few other places that perhaps we'd recommend otherwise. But while in Sumida, we did take the opportunity to go to Bunkyo, which was an unexpected highlight. We caught a professional baseball game at the Tokyo Dome, and even if you're not into this type of sport or a big sports fan, it was still a fantastic experience. The crowd, the energy, the organized cheering sections, food stalls. It was such a fun experience. One of our top experiences of our entire trip in Japan. Of course, we spent some time in Akihabara, which is Tokyo's go-to spot for electronics, gaming, anime, everything. And I like my techie stuff, so I did want to check it out. It's a little overly bright and loud, but it is definitely packed with multi-level stores selling everything, from retro consoles to absolute latest tech. I ended up buying a set of Shocks inductive earphones for running, which I really love. I use them all the time. You could probably spend a couple of days just exploring different buildings and side streets. They even had this large building that just sold candy, which we checked out, but it was a bit overwhelming, so just be aware of that and who you're with. We could only spend so much time there. It just was a little bit overwhelming, and if you're planning to shop, make sure you check out the duty-free counters because you can save the tax with your passports. Yeah. We're in Asakusa neighborhood now. And so we took a subway from the Akihabara, yes. It's hard to keep all these neighborhoods. Tokyo's like its own country with a whole bunch of tiny cities in it. Yeah, we found a banh mi place that we're gonna, hopefully that they're gonna make us a vegetarian, vegan version. But here's the look of it. Check out this view. We took a subway, got off at Ueno Station, which is adjacent to Ueno Park. And so we're just gonna explore Ueno Park and enjoy the shade and the cicadas and kind of get away from the concrete jungle
of the area. And the sun is very strong, but as soon as you get out of the sun and into this shady area, it's actually bearable.
Shimokitazawa quickly became one of our favorites. It's known for its laid-back, artsy vibe, vintage clothes stores, record shops, narrow alleys. It's definitely a place I would suggest staying. I wish we had stayed there right from the beginning. I could have stayed there and then that be our home base for all of Tokyo. It's the kind of place where you can spend hours just wandering around, awesome shops, just awesome vibe overall. I highly recommend Shimokizawa, if you can say it.
We have no choice. We have to do it. All right, here we go. It's so ridiculous that this is so famous. Follow the guy in the green shirt.
As we wrap up, I want to say this was not about ranking places. Every stop offered something special, and what we take from travel is deeply personal. What we did try to do on the trip was get outside the usual Golden Triangle, outside Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka, and explore places that just felt more local, more affordable, and still deeply authentic. And honestly, those experiences end up being some of the most memorable. Whether it was biking across islands of Onomichi, hiking Forest Pass in Itoshima, soaking in hot springs in Yamanouchi, taking coastal train journeys, or visiting sacred deer in Nara, each place gave us something different and reminded us why we travel in the first place. Travel is about reconnecting with the world, with people, with perspective. It reminds us of all the good that's out there, the kindness, the simplicity, the beauty of a slower pace, and the richness of culture that's different from our own. Creating is my passion. It's something I'm lucky to do in my role as a teacher, and something I've learned even more in my personal life. I film, I edit, I write. So if you choose to subscribe, know that you're not supporting AI content here. Any glitches, awkward transitions are all mine. So is the love, and so is this intention behind each of the video. If you're curious on how we manage to travel while living on a modest salary and supporting our family, I have got some budget information coming up. Okay, as promised, I wanted to share a little bit about our budget, but even before that, I wanted to share that the first step in planning a trip like this is organization. It definitely helps the budget. I use a Google spreadsheet to map out the locations, and then I can share that with others who are also traveling with us. This gives a bit of an estimated cost for things that we're planning for, and becomes a master document. And then I often create a PowerPoint. It turns into a PDF that includes maps and photos and other details that we need, like transit options, addresses, cultural notes, etc. And this is often printed at the end so that we do have paper copies. Often people might have different opinions about that, but we do print out hard copy just in case, and we have had to pull it out in the past. But like when it comes down to budget for a trip like this, we do not travel in credit. I do not recommend it. I understand that is a privilege. And with that being said, I do believe that once you are in debt, especially for something like travel, it can be hard to dig yourself out because travel can be very addictive. So it's just, we're in a place where what we do is set aside about 25% of our income each month. And that specifically goes for travel. It means making choices in our daily life. Things that we don't have, making sure we pack our own lunches, limiting restaurants, skipping impulsive buys. I don't spend a lot of money on extras like clothing or salon visits, although I'd like to. I make sure that we try to, monitor energy costs at home, that kind of thing. And for this trip, about half of it did go to flights. So that's something to consider. So to constantly be looking around for cheaper flights or using points if you have them. We do use points often, and then we can use our points to pay for the flight. So that helps. For food, we budget $25 per day, which is very doable in Japan. And because they have so many options and affordable options. We rarely stay in expensive hotels or unless there's some sort of sale that we have found. And we do look for last minute deals and again, use our points for that. So in the end, we do prioritize travel. It's something that we value. And because we recognize that, it means letting go of other things. We recently sold our house and downsized to a condo, and this created more flexibility in our life. And I'll be sharing a little bit about that experience in another video. But just a reminder, travel and reasons why we do it, it's personal. And these are just my thoughts. And I know that that might not apply to everyone. I love to hear how you plan and how you budget for trips too. And what tools do you use? And you know, if you've been to Japan, what kind of off the beaten places would you recommend particular? I would love to know in the comments. I'd love to, you know, feedback is great. Of course, keep it positive and kind. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, really good.
Good. We've landed ourselves into a little curry shop with vegan curry. Brad, did you try it yet?
It's just the papadum. It's very good. Salty, yummy.
Yeah.